And we are following breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. Well, it was just a matter of time before the deal got done. But now, according to a report, James Harden does plan to sign a 2-year deal with the 76ers. Our Bill Ryder saying we should expect it anywhere between 2 to 4 years, going with 2 years here. But he will take a reported pay cut worth $15 million in order to stay with the 76ers. That does include a second-year player option. We'll see if James Harden decides on that. He did have a player option, which he did decline. But again, the thoughts being that he would end up signing a contract, a multi-year contract with the Philadelphia 76ers. Let's welcome in our Tim Doyle to talk about this breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. Not so surprising, Tim, that James Harden agreeing to a 2-year deal, according to reports with the 76ers. Are you surprised at the pay cut?
Yeah, I think when we hear $15 million, we say it like $15 million, okay? But he has made over $220 million. All right, so just simple math here. We're talking about what? 6-7% of his overall, salary earnings from a contract that he's taking a pay cut. This would be like, Amanda, if you had $4,000 in your checking account, which I seriously doubt. This would be like $300 that you're like, whatever, $300. That's what he's doing at $15 million. That's amazing. I think he's one of the more interesting players in the NBA because he has a rap of being kind of a me-first guy. And then you go look at his stats. He's had years in the NBA where he's averaged over 11 assists. Oh, in 2 years, after averaging over 11 assists, he averaged 36 points. So he wants to win an NBA championship. He looks at Joel Embiid at this phase and age of his career as his best chance to win it. So he goes, sure, $15 million, not that big a deal. Philly, let's go win a title.
Oh, I love that. I love your optimism. Look, he has had some career lows, which you were seeing here this past season. I mean, so what is your faith, though? I mean, we saw occasional great games from James Harden. By no means was it the James Harden we saw with the Rockets. What is your faith in James Harden moving forward this season?
I think that they'll be the best team in the Eastern Conference in the regular season. I think they'll be the overall number one seed. Yes, put it on paper. I didn't say that they were going to win an NBA championship. But now that you give Harden and Joel Embiid an offseason to learn how to dance together, oh, yeah. Because, Amanda, you know how I like to dance, face to face. My wife, she backs it up on me. Now the fact that they're going to get this chance to get that synergy and get that rhythm together. When the Sixers were at full strength, meaning Harden, Embiid, and a couple of other guys, Tobias Harris's of the world, they had the number one offensive rated team in the entire NBA. And you just threw Harden on the team late in the season. He's such an amazing playmaker. He makes other guys better. And now you're pairing him with, arguably Embiid could have won the MVP the last 2 years. He lost to Jokic, but, he's finishing in the top 3 in this juncture in his career. I think this is the best team in the Eastern Conference. And now Harden has freed up this money to find pieces that fit his game, put him around shooting, add him in with a Tyrese Maxey who we knew was fast, we knew he could defend, but we didn't know he could shoot it like that so well off the ball. I think the Sixers are the best team in the Eastern Conference.
Okay, expand on that a little bit. You're throwing in PJ Tucker, which they have as well. The Celtics right now are the favorite to win the title. We don't know where Kevin Durant's going to land. Maybe he ends up in Miami. Maybe that would change things for you. So why are the 76ers with James Harden ending up staying there for the next couple of years? Expand on that a little bit more, why you think they're the best team in the East.
Hey, don't do this to me, Amanda. Why do you? This is like, you're like this.
This be my job. This be my job.
Why are you pushing me towards the edge here? What do you want me to say? I'm not going to say right now that Philadelphia 76ers is going to win the NBA championship. I know that's I know what you're trying to bait me to do. I'm not taking the bait.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. We can agree on that there. What form? Do we think James Harden is going to show up in better form coming into this season than he did last season?
Great question, because last night I was at Nick and Sam's. I had 2 martinis, not 3 down in Dallas, because 3 I get sloppy. And I have a hard time recovering from that because I'm 39 years old and have a dad bod. He's at the point in his career where I believe he's going to have to reinvent himself. Now, I don't mean you have to go total vegan and stuff, but here's the time he has to start changing his body, because he's at an age when athletes start going on the other side of the mountain if they don't do something to reinvigorate himself. Get on the TB12 plan. Like, now is the time to start changing your lifestyle a little bit, because you just can't answer the bell like you used to. So I'm really curious to see how he comes into this offseason. I love the fact that this is done now, right? We're not even in the middle of July, and he's like, no, this is it. And now player option for year number 2, he may realize, like, maybe this isn't it, and I'm going to move on from Philadelphia. But he is pushing his chips, James Harden, all in for next year. And in the world that we live in, if you're getting that sort of commitment for 1 year, I respect that, but I think he needs to change his body. I think he needs to come in at this point of the basketball season in the best shape of his life going into next year. Like, I think that he has to go in with the mind frame and the mindset that he could be an MVP candidate, because he was last year, not this past season, 2 years ago. Like, he was in the mix when he was on the Nets to win an MVP. So I think he's got another good year. And as I said, Sixers with Harden and Embiid, the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference next year.
I appreciate your faith. Look, you went to Nick and Sam's last night. Now you're getting back on the train for the rest of the summer. We saw James Harden partnering it up in the Hamptons. Now hopefully he will be back in the gym getting ready for this upcoming season. Good dance moves, as always, Tim Doyle. We appreciate it there. Taking a look at the odds to win the NBA championship in 2023. As mentioned, the Celtics are there at the top, followed by the Warriors, the Suns, the Bucks, the Clippers. You get the 76ers with 14-1 odds, but you heard Tim Doyle there saying he thinks they're going to be the best team to come out of the East. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.